My name is Jehan and today we are going to learn Python. In Visual Studio Code, you have to install Python and make a new folder called practice. And click the practice folder and click new file. Then a new file will appear under the practice folder and name it one basic.py. You have to name the file and put in .py because .py means it's a Python file. Also, if instead of spaces, you have to use the underbars. So let's get started. The most basicest function in Python is print. Don't forget to put a circle after a function. So when you click this run button, then you will see that there is something you cannot understand, and between there is a blank line. You could ignore these two lines because this is when Visual Studio Code reads the code. But if I put the number 6 in here and run the program, then the blank line will be replaced by the number 6. You could also add numbers together. So 6 plus 6 is 12. And subtract 0 and you can see that there's no times button in the keyboard. The X doesn't work. So instead, use the star sign to multiply. And 6 times 6 is 36. And also, there's no divide on the keyboard, so instead use a slash and it will say 1.0, but the last 0 isn't needed. A class is where you store multiple functions, and int, string, and float is class 2. Int is just a number without any points or anything. But string is a text. So when you cover this with question mark, then it will just print the text inside here. Next, a float is can store some number like this one, which has points in it. So when you cover this up with int, then it will say 1. And if you cover it with string, it will say 1.0 as usual. And if you put in a float, then it will say 1.0 because it is already a float. So when you are printing strings, you could just do cat, 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 and it will say cat, cat, cat. But if you forget to do the question mark and run the program, it will say a syntax error, and it says perhaps you forgot a comma, and in the Python map it becomes a red line. But why does the Python interface say a comma? It doesn't work. That's when it comes to variables. You can name a variable named cat by writing the cat and putting an equal sign on it. Then it will convert it to a variable, and you can see all the cats are turning sky blue. And you could write cat in it, and it will say cat, cat, cat. Also, you could also connect variables with a plus sign, but it will not leave spaces between it. You could fix this by changing it into a comma, but if you don't want to, then you could use the sep variable, which is used in the print function. Sep, if you change sep to a space, then it will say cat, 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 and it will not work. This is because plus sign is not made for this thing, so you have to change everything to comma to do it. Because when you use a comma, you could set a sep to anything like a text, and you could see that the space from the comma got replaced. Also, you could use other libraries by using this import. So you could just, and now the R is the random library, so you could type in R point random point rand int, and so this will just fly away the data, and nothing is happening. But if you put a print and cover it with it, then it will say 3, 2, 1. Random numbers between 1 and 3. Also, there is something called an if. So remove the print. Oh gosh. And swap it with answer variable. And name a guess. Now, how do you make the user put in the value and the Python outputs it by using another data type? You could use the function input and say input number between 1 and 3. And if you run the project, and if you click on this, a white thingy will appear and you can type anything and hit enter. So if answer is, now don't forget to put 2 equal signs to compare. Now, right now, guess is a string and answer is an int. So when you say to the Python and is string 3 equal to int 3, then Python will say no. So cover it with integer and guess. Now, then print woo, and else say and 3. Okay, let's try again. 3. Now, okay, it should work this time. No? Okay, one more time. 3. Yes. Wow. But if you say a letter, then Python can't convert it into a number. So error. So bring this by 1 tap, and if guess is this is now it just doesn't run this if the guess is not a number. Else print that is not number. And okay. And yeah, done. Now if you enter a string, that is another handy. But the player can get a what? Okay, let's try again and get wrong and want to try again. But instead of clicking this again, let's make it repeat forever. While true. Now this repeats forever. And tap this. So while statement repeats while this is true. This is always true, so yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah. Whee. Now if you want to make this a score thing, you could do like this. Now to make score get up by 1 plus equals 1. But I want to make it go up by integer of guess. Answer guess, same thing. Yo! Whoa! Good luck. And lastly, print score. Oh, man. Now that was how to make a guessing game on Python and the basic of Python. So bye.